Good afternoon, everyone. We're doing it in Wilmington. What are we doing? We're having the 250th anniversary parade. I'm here with Ed Cochran, and my name is Jack Clark, and we're going to try to give you a real good description of what's going on. What are we going to have in the parade? Well, we're going to have clowns and floats, and in fact, this is probably going to be one of the largest parades Wilmington ever had. It will contain 60 units of 5 divisions, and one division will be made up of completely of all the Aleppo Temple Shriners contingents, which should be pretty fantastic, seeing there's 350 people in that one division. Along with that, there'll be approximately 14 to 20 bands and 18 to 20 floats. So we're all looking forward to having a real good time today, and hope that everybody really enjoys themselves. Our Grand Marshal today will be the Reverend Roy A. Fisk, who now resides in Seminole, Florida. He originally marched in the 250th anniversary parade at the age of 7. And at that time, he was the future generation. So we're all looking forward to that. Ed, your comments?
Okay, Jack, it's a beautiful day here. Fantastic day for a parade. The crowd's starting to thicken up. We can see that many people brought their lawn chairs. They're going to be comfortable along the sides of the street here, and we're looking forward to a real good time. The parade is going to be about 2.5 hours long, from what we understand. Many bands, floats. A lot of the industry in town has contributed their time and their money, and they have made floats that the companies, the employees have helped work on. The bands, we have all kinds of bands, Army bands, Navy, Marine Corps, we have drum and bugle corps, high school bands. It's going to be a good time. And we have one section we can't forget, the fire engines. There's going to be about 25 of those, John.
Yeah, that's what I understand. And they're going to be of all ages and types and styles.
Yeah, we have a lot of antiques.
Right behind them, there will be an antique auto show also. And that will be with the Claxton Auto Club. And they say that they've done a heck of a good job with those cars.
Yeah, anybody does that, restores the old apparatus and cars, and it's quite a job. I know a few people myself that are in that line of work, and it's quite a long, involved process.
The number of people here looks like that this is really a good turnout. I don't know about the other parts of the parade, of how it looks, but if I could judge it from here, I'd say there's a large number of people, well in the thousands.
Yeah, I would say, and it worked out well. A beautiful day, and all the time and the planning that went into this, and I think it's going to go off just fine.
Okay, again, my name is Jack Clark, and I'm with the Anniversary Committee, and we're all hoping for a real good parade. And one of the things I just want to mention is that when we decided to have the parade September 7th, Bob Kane told us it was going to be a nice sunny day. Ed?
This is Ed Cochran. We'll be back after a message.
The Wilmington 250th Anniversary Committee was fortunate to have donated a oil painting of the Hardin Tavern, painted by our local artist, Sonia Maria Carlson. Sonia has many of her paintings on display in local and private collections, and she had offered this to the committee so that we may raffle it off and have the proceeds go to our commemorative book. The raffle tickets will be selling for $1 and will be available at the committee headquarters and from all committee members for $1. And the raffle drawing will be on September the 25th at our headquarters.
I guess we're getting pretty close to the start of the parade.
Yep.
I can hear the fire engines down there coming.
Yeah.
I guess there's, what, about 25 fire engines coming in?
Yeah, from what I understand from the itinerary I have here, there's about 25 units in the parade today. They came from as far away as Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
How do they get that truck here? Do they drive it from Portsmouth, or?
Yeah, just drive right over the road. Yeah. Very expensive if you
Yeah, I
own
was
one
going
for
to say,
gas.
what kind of gas mileage
Yeah.
does one of those get?
Probably 3 or 4 miles a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah, very expensive.
Do they have large tanks in there for?
Yeah, most of them have 30, 40 gallons, that they hold.
Now, how do they compare with the newer fire trucks? Say, I noticed there's a 1926 Maxim in there versus, say, one of the newer trucks that you have. In equipment?
There's no comparison whatsoever. They were, in those days, they were talking something better than the bucket brigade. And, you might be getting 100, 200 gallons a minute, where one of these big engines that you'll be seeing is capable of pumping somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 gallons of water per minute.
Wow.
And to give, the people an idea, one of those small round swimming pools, 3-foot swimming pool you have in the backyard, a couple of minutes to have it filled up, where it takes you a day and a half to do it with the garden hose.
That's quite an improvement over the years, and of course the need for that type of equipment is increasing every day with the different type of construction and the additional hazards that come with all this luxury living that we have.
Yeah.
I can see one of the fire trucks now, Ed. I'm not sure which one is in the lead. Maybe you can fill in if you can recognize it from here.
Yeah, I think it's engine 2, our engine 2.
Is that engine 2 is one of our regular fire trucks in that we have here in the department?
It's the newest truck. It's 1978.
We better probably start talking a little bit about that. If it's a 1978, how long do we normally keep a fire truck on the force in an operation?
Well, as you know, Jack, from your experiences with town government, they're usually good for 20, 30 years. They're well worth the money.
The noise is going to get quite heavy when they're in front of us. So
Yeah,
I'm sure
I think it will. They've been told to pull out all the stops as far as the air horns and the sirens go, so I think we're in for quite a display.
Good. You might want to think about reading some of the names out of some of the trucks that are going by. I'm not sure whether during the time that they go by that we're going to be able to hear anything.
The first car in the parade is the Wilmington Police Chief. He's followed by, you can see him just getting out of the car. That's Chief Bobby Stewart. I think he's going to give somebody a ticket here or something. I don't know. He's followed by the fire chief in the...
It looks like he's heading this way, Ed. Maybe...
Yeah.
Where'd you park your car?
I left it home. The next vehicle here is the Wilmington Fire Chief, Chief Daniel C. Wandell. And also
looks like Al Venuti
driving the chief's car, we have Inspector Charles Lozier.
Okay. Looks like we're slowing down now.
That's for the Middlesex Canal boat.
We have Wilmington Engine 2. Driving that is Earl Burns, and we have Lieutenant Lee in the front seat there, followed by the Wilmington
There's a little
Rescue.
bit of noise.
Yeah, it is. Followed by the Wilmington Rescue truck.
One of the firefighters in the chief's car, driving the chief's car, Charlie. What's Charlie's last name?
Lozier.
Charlie Lozier.
Yeah.
Charlie did a lot of work for us during the carnival.
Oh, has he?
And especially when we had the fireworks. He was down there with the fire department at that point. So we appreciate all the work the fire department has done during the course of the whole year.
Yeah, I think all the town organizations have really come out and given it a real good shot to make this parade and everything go off.
This is engine 2. What?
I think we have the rescue truck here, John. This is partially owned by the fire department and the civil defense. We have William Lopez driving, and that's Lieutenant Flanagan in the front seat. Here's an interesting piece from Wakefield. We have a horse-drawn steamer. It was back in the early 1900s. They had the horses were kept right in the fire station, and they used to pull the engine to the fire, and then the boys would stoke up a fire inside the boiler, and they would use the steam to move the pump and to push the water through the hoses onto the buildings.
Yeah, it looks like they have that fired up now too, boy.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's a very warm ride for those firemen.
Next, we have a Model T from Linfield.
What year is that?
I have no idea. It's
well, that'd be around what, a 1919 or something like this?
At least the early 1900s. This was a chemical wagon. Back in the early days, they used to use chemicals also to put fires out.
Okay. At this point, I'd just like to thank the civil defense. Sil Blonigan was in the rescue wagon, and they've done a heck of a job here helping us with communications.
Here we have a 1926 Maxim, owned and driven by Thomas Buckle of Wilmington. There's a fine-looking crew there on the truck.
Look like the future firemen of Wilmington.
That was North Reading's old engine 1, 1926.
Okay, we'll retract that. Well, they may move to Wilmington by the time they're old enough to be firemen.
Here we have a 1924 Childs chemical wagon, owned and driven by Brian Anderson of Wilmington. Next is a 1921 Aaron's Fox. It's owned by George Anderson, Brian's brother. They have gone quite heavy into restoring old pieces of fire apparatus. I don't know.
That looks like it's chain driven too.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been by John's house, George's house, John, but it's quite a sight down there with all the fire engines parked in the yard. Here we have Linfield Engine 5. It's a 1935 Maxim.
Looks in pretty good shape for a 1935.
I wish I was in that good a shape when I get that old.
Is that 35, Ed?
Yeah. And now we have Hook and Ladder 1, owned by a bunch of firefighters from Linfield. They've gotten together and pooled their resources and restored this truck.
I believe this
has a tiller on it. The tiller for going around the corners on the sharp streets. They swing the end of the truck out.
Was this originally in movement when it was brand new?
I don't know, John.
I'm sure that guy in the rear has a hard time steering that truck.
This is the truck from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It's a Mack owned by Bob Farrow.
Do they use gas or diesel, Ed?
No, all these trucks except for Wilmington's Engine 2 are gas-driven. We have Woburn Auxiliary Fire Department. This piece that you're seeing now from Reading is brand new due to the accidents we've had on Route 93 in the area with chemicals and oil, and they have this foam unit. We have the Burlington Engine 1.
That looks like a brand new truck.
Yeah, these are all fairly new pieces of apparatus. Here's a nice piece from Lowell, Ladder 3.
How hard, difficult is it to drive one of those things from the rear, Ed?
I really don't know. I've never driven one myself, but it's not too bad. They have communications from the driver to the tiller man, and they can they keep in touch with each other, and he lets them know if he's going to slow down a winter turn or what he's going to do. So it's really not so bad. Now we have the Burlington Auxiliary Fire Department. I like to say these auxiliary boys do one heck of a job. They're out, they don't get any pay for what they do. They come out and they work at the fires. They provide lighting, and they're a good supplement to the forces that we have in the area. And they do a good job.
Looks like we got an old one coming into the picture now, Ed. This is we got the dog and everything. Hand cranked siren.
This is American La France, 1917, owned by George Siegel of Georgetown.
One of the older rescue trucks here.
Yeah,
this is from
Wakefield.
Wakefield, yeah. Number 99. That's an old Rio truck, I guess.
Yeah. The Wakefield Auxiliary Fire Department. This is a lighting plant. Stoneham Auxiliary Fire Department. This is also a lighting plant.
You sure there's only 25 fire trucks in here, Ed? It seems like there's 125.
I think some more snuck in here. Winchester Auxiliary Fire Department with their lighting plant. Winchester Auxiliary Engine 6. North Reading Engine 7.
You could play a tune on that thing.
Yeah.
This is the City of Woburn Snorkel. I used to live down the street when they first got that. I think they, it must have been around 1960 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was right around in that area.
That was quite a change in the type of ladder trucks when the Snorkel came out.
A lot more versatility because you can hang the bucket out over the building and you can really get right at the seat of the fire. So they work out quite well.
Oh, very good. This next attraction coming up should be the Claxon Antique Auto Club. The Auto Club is from Dracut and is made up of a number of members around the area, including Wilmington. In fact, my neighbor, Joe Markaprek, is a member of the Claxon Auto Club. He restored a 1919 Okay, the next event we have here is the Claxon Auto Club. The Claxon Auto Club is from Dracut, and they were founded in 1961. It consists of over 80 families, and they have approximately 175 antique autos, ranging from years from about 1902 to 1942. The club encourages the acquisition, preservation, and display of antique autos and their accessories. Well, they look for the manufacturing date to be prior to 1942. We probably won't be able to give you the names of all these cars in the parade, but there sure are a lot of them. Some of the quality of these cars is fantastic. The type of metal used.
I wonder if the cars they're making nowadays will be around as long as some of these, John, huh?
Well, we sure hope so. I know my neighbor has done a considerable amount of work on a 1919, and in fact, it's coming up fairly soon. And when you saw that car prior to him working on it, it was, you wouldn't believe it. And this is what a lot of the people have done with these cars. They don't just buy a car that looks nice and shiny. They buy it and they restore it.
Yeah,
and they do an awful lot of work on it. This one going by right now is a 1919 Model T.
61 years old.
61 years old today. One thing I have to say, they had a lot of different styles in those days.
Yeah, they did. There's a lot to choose from.
We see one little friendly face in the audience.
Oh,
Looks
yeah.
like she's having a good time. How many cars do you think are here, Ed?
I think they brought the whole auto club. There's probably 175 of them by the way it looks.
Yeah, they're very enthused about parades, and
You notice how the people, they're really into it, John, with they have the antique car and they dress up in the old clothes and they
Yeah.
really get right in with the whole
well, they
swing
do
of the
quite a bit.
things.
And they get together quite often. They have meets and races, as I understand it, too. They
Uh-huh.
even race their cars against each other. I don't know how this one fit in, but I'm not sure what year that is. That's a 1965 Thunderbird. A little bit older than 1942. That was a 1930 Model A Ford that just went by. 1928 Model A. The one previous, the 1931 Model A Ford. I think that's a 37. I'm a little bit behind on the cars because the signs that they have on them are on the back of the cars themselves. 1938 Buick. We'll tell you what this one is in a minute. That was a 1925 Model T Ford that just went by. This one here is watching the speed limit.
It's out for a nice drive on a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
All right. It's got its trunk on the back and a whole bit. That was a 1931 Durant. This station wagon, which had already gone past. Was a 1929 Model A Ford. See, that's a nice
Shine
one
on
there,
that one,
huh?
will ya? Look at that. You can
Look at
see her
that
face
car.
in it.
I wonder if he bought that new.
Probably did. He probably did.
What kind of car was that? Can you see that, Ed?
I can't quite make it out. At 1925 Franklin? Is that what it is? Franklin? Yeah, 1925 Franklin.
Wow.
Boy, is that in nice shape.
That's a nice car.
That is beautiful.
The one you're pitching now will tell you what that is in a moment. Looks like a real oldie. 1926 Chevrolet. Never have guessed it.
See the USA in your Chevrolet, huh?
Yeah.
I've probably seen half of it, being around that long.
Well, I certainly wasn't around in 1926. Next attraction coming to our picture right now is the Wilmington Senior Citizens Council on Aging.
Following them is the Marine Color Guard, United States Marine Corps. The Marines, John, were the third military to be established by the government. They were established in November of 1775.
That's getting way back there.
Sure is.
The Army band comes to us from Fort Devens. The Army is the oldest military in the United States, having been formed June 14, 1775. Let's listen to them. Roy A. Fisk. The Reverend Roy A. Fisk marched in our 200th, I think I said 250th at the opening. And he was 7 years old at the time. And he was known as the future generation. And we're all happy to have him in here. Along with him are the children of tomorrow, the Wilmington youth. James Campbell, born February 22nd, 1980. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Leo Campbell. Also in that car was Allison Catherine Coldclaw, born March 11th, 1980. Her parents are Kathy and David Coldclaw.
The next section here, we have some dignitaries. I can see Representative James Maselli.
Okay, Representative James Maselli. We got, let's see, Rocco Di Pasquale, Bob Kane, John and Bimbo, Governor King, and also Senator Ted Kennedy sent us letters regretting that they wouldn't be here. Representative Shannon, the 5th Congressional District. And here comes Danny Ballou, one of our newest members of the Board of Selectmen. This is our senior citizens. The senior citizens were formed in 1974 and have a space that's provided for them by the Demola supermarket chain. And they give them free rent. The chairman of the council is Bill Belkin. What do we have here? Yeah, that's right.
This is some more of the Council on Aging, I think, John.
Well, this has really been a good parade so far, Ed. They got us out of line a little bit here. We had
Doing some fast
schedule
shuffling.
of the senior citizens were going to be in a different spot. So if we didn't hit everybody's name, please excuse us.
Coming up now, we have the Wilmington Little League girls softball team. And they were the
Ages 11 and 12, state champions.
state champions. Frank Stone is their coach, Bud Callahan is their manager. They went to Augusta, Maine for the New England Champion playoffs, beat Vermont, consolation game. All 14 girls should be really proud of themselves. They did one heck of a job. They were out there playing their hearts out all summer long, and I know they were quite proud to get as far as they did.
Yeah, this is a tough summer too for Little League, where the weather was so warm and humid. But you could see them down in the park all the time practicing in the hot sun and dust, and they deserve a lot of credit for what they did.
And
I'm sure they all had a good time doing it too.
By the looks of the way some of these girls can play ball, some of the boys better watch out.
Yeah. This time too, Ed, I'd like to make a comment about some of the committee members that have arranged this parade. A lot of work went into it. And just as a lot of work and effort goes in for these girls too, here with the Little League. Yeah, there's Frank. Frank Stone is their coach. So I was saying that about the committee, I do want to give some people a real big thanks for the job that they did all year long. We had a headquarters that had to be manned 8 hours a day. And Joan Magga, Joan Searfuss, Harriet Kane, deserve a big round hand of applause and a lot of credit for what they did manning that headquarters.
I know any time of the day and night that you'd go by there, you could always see the lights would be on, and no matter when you walked in, somebody was always there. They did one heck of a job.
Yeah,
This must have been a real monumental task to undertake in the beginning, to get everything. It's just about going like clockwork with all the events. The weather's been good.
Well, one of the things that we did on here was that we supported all the activities in the committee and in the for the whole year by funds that were raised by the committee. There were no funds given to us by the town. There was no taxpayers' monies used. Although we could not do it without the support of the town people coming out and supporting the functions that we sponsored and the organizations within the town. And the members of the committee did a fantastic job. I'd just like to mention some of the people on the committee. I know we probably won't get everybody, but just give somebody recognition for what they did do. Bob Kane, who at the beginning worked day and night on the first initial ball, getting all the tickets sold, which we had over 1,000 people at, which is probably one of the largest turnouts for any Wilmington event. Dave Hill. Dave is part of the Minutemen, and the Minutemen also did a tremendous job for us. Bob Boyce, who is the parade marshal, excuse me, not the parade marshal, but the parade organizer who put this whole parade together and chairman of that committee, deserves a lot of credit. Charlie Kelly, Bob Brown, John Brown with the fire department did a tremendous job at the beginning there, getting us in the right assisting us to head in the right direction. Rudy Carrasco, Del Passmore, who is working on a commemorative book, which we're going to be coming out with, and also Paula O'Brien. The last one is Jack Cushing, and Jack really deserves an awful lot of credit. We were working on the committee, and Jack came in and gave us a lot of directions as to how we could raise money to support the functions, the carnivals, the fireworks, and I believe it was the first time in years that there were any fireworks in
It'd be nice if they could keep that tradition up. I think everybody in town really enjoyed those fireworks.
Oh, they were.
4th of July weekend. It was quite a nice display.
Well, it was a very satisfying thing for us, the members on the committee, that it went off so well, that the carnival was a lot of fun. I've had more fun at that carnival than I have a lot of them. And the fireworks, I guess the only dampening, if you excuse the term, came when just before the fireworks we had to light them off
4th of July
a little bit
night.
faster.
Little bit of rain. Rain.
But other than that, I think the weather has cooperated tremendously with us this year.
It has been good.
We could really have gotten in a lot of trouble with the rain, especially on a day like today. And we gotta just thank somebody that we got this sunshine.
Looks like all the kids in the crowd are really enjoying themselves. You can see them running around with their balloons and noisemakers, and looks like everybody's having a good time.
We are still selling on the committee too, and we're still selling our chances for the original oil painting done by Sonia Carlson, who did a tremendous job on that, Ed. It's a real nice painting.
Yeah, I saw it this morning. It's beautiful.
You can pick up the tickets at the headquarters or from any committee member. They're only $1, and it'll go towards help supporting the commemorative book, which we're still working on. One of the other things I'd like to mention too is Channel 6. Channel 6 throughout the year has done a tremendous job for us. And Dick Carlson over there on the Baldwin crane, without that, our center camera would never have been able to get these shots that they're doing. So a big thanks to Baldwin and to Channel 6. And also, in particular, on Channel 6, Steve Bissett.
Steve's done one
real
heck of a
tremendous
job.
guy,
Yep.
and has really worked day and night. I've talked to him at all hours.
Okay, here we have the Wilmington High School Marching Band.
The band is under the direction of the Wilmington Public Schools Music Department, and their director, music education director, is Linda Jackson. The high school bandmaster is Barbara Meady. I hope I pronounced that right. Meady? Sorry, Barbara. Student band officers are drum major Paul Capone, managers Kathy Gillespie and Bob Norris. Baton is Cindy Harris and Cheryl Kincaid. Color guard is Kim McKay. They sound pretty good, Ed.
Yeah, they sure do.
The band will perform next September 21st, 1980, when they'll be performing the Boston 350 Grand Jubilee Parade. Now we got some clowns coming.
One looks like a banana split, and then I think we have a hot fudge sundae here.
I think this is the Sweetheart Plastics float.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Sweetheart Plastic is one corporation that has done a whale of a job for us here, especially loaning us Jack Cushing
Yeah.
during all sorts of times during the day. During working hours, of course, too.
Just like to mention, John, that the banana split was Betty Brown, and the hot fudge sundae is Bonnie Bishop. And they're both Sweetheart Plastics employees. And
Well, because the
yeah,
employees are
having
the
a good
big thing of any company, and they're the ones that really make it happen.
Here we have
I'm not
the,
sure I recognize these two people, but a couple look like my kids. No, it's not them. Do you know these people?
No, I don't, John. Here we have the Sweetheart Plastics float.
Looks like Mr. Spoon there. Uh-oh, he's going to come right up to us. Okay, and now, folks, we got... Oh, there they go. And that gentleman in the blue walking off now is Jack Cushing. And I think we should have a big hand of applause for Jack. Jack's going to come up here and talk with us during the rest of the parade, along with his wife.
I see some familiar faces on the float there. Some friends and neighbors, the Bishop family.
The Sweetheart employees made this float, and their employees are some of those you see before you.
Yeah, Sweetheart's really done quite a job with the help and everything that they have
Wilmington
given.
Minutemen that you see now, the Minutemen Company made their float and members of their family. Because the Wilmington Minutemen have helped us all through the years, and they also have a large number of events that they sponsor and perform in. So let's listen to them. Exactly how many members are in the Minutemen. Are you aware of that, Ed?
No, I really don't know, Jack. It's like quite a few. And here they have their What is this, the cannon? Yep.
Do you know who's pulling that cannon? Ed?
Yeah, it looks like a couple of faces there that I know. Stuart Nielsen. They pull this every year all the way over to Lexington and Concord, don't they, for the parade?
Yeah, I guess once a year they, the whole group marches over. One thing they did do in 1976, they marched all the way from Wilmington to Philadelphia.
Did they really? I didn't even know that. Here we have their float.
Which is Wilmington's
citizens.
first citizens. You got to give the wives a lot of credit also with the Minutemen. They really support the organization also. The next group I believe it's the Waltham American Legion Band. Groups of fife and drums, and I'm not sure exactly what band this is. This is the band from Wakefield.
Looks like Wakefield, Mass.
Yeah, Jack Cushing is now here beside me. Welcome to the chair, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
Of Minutemen, the militia of Massachusetts, and they were formed in April 19, 1775. Right now, we just had a shot from the Minutemen. This is River Carrasco, the post commander, the VFW, Jack. The Indians that went by there, Jack, were Bob Urin and Margaret from Lowell. They were dressed in full headdress in Indian outfit.
It looks like some of the people from the Tewksbury Association, Jack. VFW, Tewksbury Association.
Okay. Yeah, we've, this is the VFW post.
Wilmington.
the Wilmington Veterans Organization is going through right now.
Plus their auxiliary.
Coming up next is Old Ironside. The Naval Enlisted Reserve Association, Color Guard, U.S. Constitution, Chapter of 0112, the Old Ironside, has marched in Wilmington before, in particular in the Memorial Day parades. As some of you may remember,
This is one or two boats that this group has. They also have a naval flat top that they also bring to parades.
I think the camera will be able to get a better shot as it goes through. Marching behind them is the Naval Enlisted Reserve Association, USS Constitution. Excuse me, along with the Constitution, I say.
This is quite a crowd, Jack, that stretches along this whole route. It's quite an honor being on that float riding up to this point.
Yeah, Jack, you had a chance to see some of the crowds back there.
It's pretty well stocked all the way through the whole town.
Very good. What do you think the numbers will end up being?
I'm afraid to guess. Just going to take a long time to get out of here after it's over.
Well, if I estimated that just in the Shriners contingent, there's 350 members.
Well, and you have 4 other groups on top of that, so you're probably over 1,000 people marching today. All right, the venue here in the background is the American Legion Post 156, Waltham.
This band is being sponsored by our local American Legion Post number 136. Their leader is Doc Hill, who had been leading bands for 51 years. This band has 50 members and has been the state champions for the past 5 years.
Marching in front of them is the American Auxiliary, Women's Auxiliary, American Legion.
Let's listen to this. Bet you all want to stand up and clap. This is a fantastic sight, Jack. Everybody's standing up and
Never
clapping.
seen anything like it. Unbelievable. This is why they're state champs.
I think they're going to be state champions for the next 5 years.
Tremendous sight, tremendous sight.
Well, I tell you, that type of thing really moves you and really makes you proud to be an American. That was tremendous, Jack.
There you go. What a lead, Todd Hill.
I'll tell you, this is the first time I've seen the Waltham American Legion Band, and I hope I get a chance to see him again. Okay. Here we go.
There they go.
We're 50 members, ladies and gentlemen. It was sponsored by our lone local American Legion post number 136. Following them is Cub Scout Pack 136 of the American Legion post in Wilmington. Well, I can't see down there right now, Jack. How about yourself?
Looks as though we got a little lull in the parade right now. I think one of the things you have to say right now, Jack, is that it's been a long 4 months of putting on what we had to put on. It was hard work. But all you have to do is take that 2-mile ride on the float and see the smiling faces. Boy, it was worth it.
Well, we had mentioned earlier, Jack, how well everything went across the carnival, the 4th of July, the amount of work you did, and the new ideas that you brought into the committee when you joined.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great town that we live in.
Here's
Really
one of our
Here's the Lions
This
Club.
is the Lions Club coming up now. And Mark Peters built the float. And Paul St. Hilaire donated materials, and John Mackey did the sign painting. Members in the parade consist of 25, 4 units. Marching is the governor and his cabinet. One of the nice things about, one of the real things that the Lions Club do, Jack, is the eye research and all the work that they've done through the years for to benefit eye research.
As you look at the side of the float, you can see the different things that they've done in this town. It's quite a tribute to have a club like that in this town. Good to see them out here.
They've donated over $40,000 to eye research.
Jack, I think this trailer here is involved in the programs that they work in the eye research program.
Their donations, Jack, do go to institutions like the Mass Eye and Ear Infirmary, Mass Lions Eye Research Laboratory in Boston University, Children's Hospital, and a lot of other worthwhile organizations.
The next group coming, Jack, looks like Wilmington Spotlighters, our local theatrical group.
The Spotlighters have been in existence for 8 years, Jack, and their members total about 100. The music is supplied by Jim Sutton and his orchestra. The Costa Florist receives credit for the decoration, and Shea Septic Systems donated the use of his truck. Also, DeCrosta, I guess, is opening up a new and expanded headquarters in Wilmington Plaza.
Yep. The Spotlighters are also out, always looking for members, and on September 9th and 10th at 7:30 at the high school.